So we have discussed the topics like what is ESB and what is Mulesoft application and the different types of data types and the tools that are helpful for building and designing the Mule applications or APIs. So here API is application programming interface. Okay, and the data types mainly are simple and complex. So within simple data types we have number data types are integer, and there will be string data type and also boolean data type. And complex is nothing but it is a representation of and combination of the simple data types. If we want to collect one person information, then we need the different uh, fields, or we need a different information like person details and person address details. So to capture both the information, we need a complex data type. Within complex data type, if we are going to represent the data in JSON format, there are object data type and array data type. Now coming to data formats, we have JSON data format and the Java object and the Java format, XML format, text, CSV. So these are commonly used data formats. Data format is nothing but one type of representing the data. Either it can be a string or it can be a Boolean data type or it can be an array of data. Array is the collection of strings or collection of elements basically. If we are going to represent same kind of information in an array, it's called structured array. And if we want to collect Boolean as well as a string information within one array, then we will call it as unstructured array. Now we will discuss the JSON data format. Mainly in most of the business scenarios and the applications that we develop, we follow this JSON data format as well as XML. JSON format is mainly consist of two things like object and array. Object is a key value. For example, just like we discussed, if we want a person name and person address, to collect that information and store as some payload, we can represent within flower braces and give the key value as name, and the value that we wanted to assign to name is any name, and address we wanted to capture, right? So Hyderabad is a name or city name, so this is a string data type. That is why we represent the information in double quotes. Name is also a string. And
now to say this
to
is the
capture
value,
the age of a person, we can define one more key with an key as age, and the value
number type.
it is a number type. and we want to know whether he is married or not. It's a boolean type. Yeah, we can represent either it can be a boolean or false. Yeah, true or false. That means he is married. With this information, we know his minimal details, and this is the information of a person. And in API terminology, we call this as a payload. Payload is a business content. Okay. And it is a representation within JSON. Now it is one person information. If we want to collect multiple persons information, it is going to be more than one record of same kind. That means the keys will be same, but the values will be different. I mean, it will be dynamically changed. And to store all the information in one payload, we are going to define it as array. We are saying it is a person information, and now we want person's information. First of all, we will define array within square brackets, and since it is array of persons, persons means it is a collection of persons, right? Now this array is consisting of one person record, one person details, and we can add multiple persons details by separating with comma. In the second record, the values are still same, but the keys are still same because we want to capture all the information are identical, which can be processed throughout our flows, and the values will be changing from person to person. This is how we represent the data in format of JSON. And if we want to represent the information within XML format, there will be one main or parent node. And XML format starts and ends with the tag. Like we need to represent within the angular braces, angular brackets. Sorry. ఎప్పుడే క్లోజ్ అవుతుందా? No, it is talk in English. They set the other strings values. Yeah. So here, what is our objective here? Object is persons. Persons. No, first. I am not talking about object. Object is some kind of data type. Objective. our objective.
I don't know.
So here our objective is to represent the same data that we have defined in JSON format, but within XML format. This is our JSON format. It is a person data, but we want to define these fields and this data in different data format. For that, we need a parent node. To define the XML data, XML starts with angular brackets and it contains it needs one root node, start and end tags, it can have attribute values, the data is represented within angular brackets. So now we need person data, and within person the values that we need to store is name. Okay, so this is a starting tag of name, and we need to close the name tab, and within this we are going to write the actual content. This is how we can represent the data in XML fields. Now, how can you store the address field?
Address and Hyderabad address. Close bracket. I know it's a
So this person parent node or root node is having two child nodes, name and address. And what is the parent node of name?
Name. Person.
Person. Is there any child node for name?
No, no child.
Yeah. How can you identify whether there are child nodes or not? So if
Is person below name only.
yes.
Name not anything else.
Okay. This is a single person information. Now, if we want to capture multiple persons information with in XML format, so we are going to copy the same person node. Here we are going to capture the other information. But within XML, this is not a valid data format because it does not have parent node. Parent node means it is a node, but this node do not have any parent node. That means one parent node must be there.
File system.
Not file system. Yeah, it can be anything, the tag name. But to represent the data in XML format, it must have a parent node. For that purpose, we can define a parent node as persons. What is the information that we are trying to capture here? Persons. So since it is more than one person record, we are going to name the parent node as persons. Node.
NU persons.
So this is a XML data format. And if we define anything in the keys or tags, and within these angular brackets, I mean starting of the braces or brackets, that will become a attribute value for the field. For example, you don't want to pass the information within the name apart from your actual name, and you want to pass the age as the attribute value. So here age will become the attribute value of your name.
How will come double quotes in 25 age? It not mentioned that is your number type.
Okay. Here in XML, even though if you want to represent the data, either it is a number or it can be string
Or boolean. Do not have any double quotes.
How can you represent that as
True or false is a double quotes one will come.
yeah, that we can check.
Only number type not will come.
So here name is a tagger field and the value of name is Banu, and here there is an attribute age for the field or tag name. So to access this age in data view,
Okay.
there is a syntax. Yeah, we will use the same.
Why are you writing the as age in the name?
Because we don't want to pass the additional information or we don't want additional tags. To minimize the data structure, we want to represent the other additional information within the name tag, but as the attributes.
Oh.
So here, for example, we want the information as JSON. Okay. But here, to access this age attribute, we have some other way, like person. Okay. example, this is our payload. Payload is the actual data, okay, and our input is XML format. And on the target side, for example, we are receiving a source as XML format, but we want to send that as a JSON data format. Then we can make use of data wave. Data wave is the expression language within Mule4. Okay, and by using these directives like percentile, DW, and the version, we are suggesting that which version this expression language runtime has to use. And there is a output directive. With the use of output directive, we are saying we need the output in this format, particular format, like application JSON format is needed as output. And when we say here just the payload, that means the whole input we want to transform it to JSON data format. And that is how we are getting the output format. Now,
Age will not come. Why? JSON format.
yeah, here you need to include the values. For example, payload.person. Okay, and okay, this is our person data. Now we want to just map it. Map is a function that can be used to traverse or to loop through the array of records. Since here our input persons is the array of records, we are going to use the map function. Okay, what are the inputs that we have? Name and address, right? Now on the output side, we want the name. Instead of name, we want to write it as first name, dollar dot name. Here dollar is a lambda data type. Within Mule, it is a lambda function. Since we are not giving any name within the map, we are going to use dollar.
The payload and persons in this map. Not contacting.
Can you phrase your question again?
Will the attachment payload persons will link with the map or not?
Still I didn't get you. Come on. Phrase your question.
In linking with the map, the payload and payload persons, the attachment values in will come output.
Okay, ask in Telugu.
ఇప్పుడు అది పేలోడ్ పర్సన్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంది కదా ఆ మ్యాప్ తో ఉండే కాంటాక్ట్ అయ్యి అంటున్నా అదేనా అంటున్నా అట్లే రాయాల్సింది
Contact, it is not a contact. So map is a function within data. Okay, here
ఇప్పుడు ఆ పేలోడ్ పర్సన్స్ అని రాసాను అనుకున్న ఊరికి మ్యాప్ రాసి రాయాలా ఎట్లా
no, you cannot use map directly. To use the map function, there should be an input. There should be an array of data as an input. So for example, if we comment this, what is the data output that it is representing? It is an array. Okay, since it is forming an array, that means we can use the map operator. Why are we going to use the map operator? Because along with the name and address, we want to know the age. To extract this information, we are going to use map function. Now, instead of giving the same field name, we are going to name it as first name and map the input name. Now, we need an address. How can we get the address from payload? Since it is already producing an output, we are going to use $.address. Now we want to know the age. Okay.
null వచ్చింది ఈ వాల్యూ లేదు.
Yeah, attribute values we are unable to give it as a number data type. That is why we need to convert this as a number now, as number. But whenever there is no value, then it is throwing an error. Cannot go as null to number. In that case, we can just use the function like okay. Here we are writing some condition. If $.name.age is available, then only display the age. Otherwise, we are not going to display it. So the main objective here is that we have two different data formats as of now. One is JSON data format and another one is XML data format. So JSON data format is a key value pair with objects and arrays. And XML data format is having one parent node and it starts and ends with a tag. It will have angular bracket and also the information will be inserted or updated within the angular brackets and start and end of the tags between the tags. And we can even add the attributes in XML format. So to add the attributes, we can make use of any field and within the starting tag of the XML, we can define the variable name or attribute name and the value to it. To access these attribute values and XML data within the data view, we can use the @ symbol to access the attribute. Okay, that is about XML format. Now, yeah. So Java is also similar kind of JSON data format, but instead of it having a key value pair, it also have key values, but not like JSON.
In XML format, any fields is adding age and add the same method angular bracket inside.
Yes, if you want to have a separate field also, you can add it, but it should contain the start tag and the end tag.
I know,
And
name field will also the age adding the.
here you can specify whether it is true or false.
Name lo age adding.
Don't
Will also add the name and age. And another field will adding the.
Okay, if you want another attribute within the name as a married, yes, it is possible. We can have more than one attributes. You want to define another attribute within the name tag, right?
Only name tag.
You can add it in whatever the tag or whatever the field.
Understand.
You can add it anyway, but it is all depends on the business where you want to add it and how they are going to do it. It all depends. But you should be able to know what is the XML root node, what is the child node, and what is the parent node, and what are the main fields or tags.
Root node means age.
No, in this particular example, the root node is persons. Root means the main where the XML data starts. This is a root node, and this is the child node of persons. And when it comes to this particular record, it is the parent node to all these child nodes. And when in this case, when we represent the particular name tag, name is a field name or tag name, and the value for name is Banu, and the within the tag that we are representing age and married, these will become attributes. So by seeing any XML example, you should be able to identify what is the root node, what are the tags, what is the field. That's it. If you know that, you can transform the data from one format to other format. Now, in Java is the same kind of key value representation, and also we have string, boolean, as well as the object data type and array types within Java as well. But only difference is that it will just vary in data representation, like name equal to, instead of colon we will have equal to, and another one is address. Okay, this is a 1% record, how you can represent in Java. And it is a multiple persons record, how are you going to represent within array? Array is always a square bracket in Java or JSON. Okay, and here page. So our intention is that by looking at the data, we should be able to identify the field names and the keys, how you can access it. Okay, this is a Java data format, and mainly if we print the Java data structures, you won't be able to get the actual data. It will give some object data type like byte array string format, you won't be able to recognize it. To access that information, you need to use some function. Okay, and the text format. Text format is a plain data. It can be, for example, you need to represent the details in text format, the same data. So you are going to mention them from position 1 to 30. It will be name only. So they will look for the first 30 characters and they will treat it as a name only. And then address. Address will be 20 characters, for example. And then age. Yeah, you are going to tell them it will be 3 characters. And then whether married or not. So this is a in simple information, but we are not using any keys to identify the structure. It is a simple text format. Text format won't be having any fields or field names. It is a positional based. Positional based means we are going to define a predefined structure. From this character to 30th character, all the information that we provide is a belongs to name. And from character 31st to 50, that means the next 20 characters, it will be a city name. Okay, address name. And from 51st to 53rd, it will be age information. So
the line number
1 to 30, 31st to 50, 51st to 53, 54 to, since it is true or false, that means 4 characters, 54 to 54, 55, 56, 57. This is a fixed format length or text format. This is how you are the, it is a contract between two systems. So how we are going to position the data and how can we read it in our logic.
IPN.
So this is about the data formats. Yeah, we can have it again.
CSV type.
CSV. Okay, CSV is a comma delimited, comma separated values. Basically, CSV means comma separated values. Okay, comma separated values, it can have a heading. Okay, for example, it is the name, comma, what is the address, comma, age, comma, marital status. Okay, now in CSV data format, it also the information are record. We are going to represent each and every field or column with a comma separated. That means once comma is appeared, we need to read it as a column or a next field or next tab. And new line represent a new record. That means till here we are saying that it is having a headers. Whatever the first line that represents, it is a header information. Header means the uh, keys. It is in our case, for example, JSON format. These are the keys, and from next line onwards, it will become the actual data. Okay, name is just Banu, right? That is why we are going to end this by using comma. Okay, and you can even represent this information within double quotes also. For example, it is Hyderabad, Telangana. If you want to mention that information, you can use the double quotes,
comma,
comma, space, Telangana. All this address belongs to your address. That means city and state. This is your address. But there is a comma within the address. How can you handle this situation? Because in CSV format, every field is going to be represented as comma separated. But you want to make sure that this information, address information, goes under the address field. You can do that by using double quotes. That means you are making sure to fill the information. If it has any commas or any special characters, make use of double quotes to uh, start and end of that particular value. And then age, marital status. So here you can mention this is a CSV data format, and this information is we are going to store in some other application, for example, and that application is going to accept values like marital status, yes or no. Okay, see New York and age, whether he is married or not. How can you say that? Yes or no. If he is married, you want to represent as information yes. If he is not, you need to mention it as no. Instead of true or false, we are making use of string values here, true or false. Do you got it? So if you want to create one more record, I mean, if you want to add one more person data, you will enter a new line and add that information. So this is the data
no double
format.
braces, no square brackets, only comma.
Yeah, it is a comma separated.
Okay, and the next person details how to add that, and the ending of no comma will come.
Yes, you can use an enter. This CSV data is actually a data format you can directly store. For example, if you want to add another person information, okay, this is how you can add the information. And to store this data, you can use a name.csv. So this data can even we can open with by using Microsoft Service as well. So you have entered the data in text file, okay, with comma separated.
Company will use this format data entry.
Yeah, they will use the data entry or whatever the information they want to gather. They can use any of these formats, not only CSV. It might be any of these formats. These are the regularly used formats: JSON XML format, and you can ignore this Java. It is just for understanding purpose how we can denote the data formats. But our main transform transportation or exchange of data between the applications will be in CSV format, text format, XML, and JSON formats. Okay, this is how you can see the data in more managed way. You have entered the data in text file by using comma separated, and by actually saving the Excel file as a CSV and entering the information. This also is equivalent to what we have done in text file. Yeah, we will pause here and we can connect.